I am an IIM Calcutta alumnus. I worked for about 5 years in various corporates before moving into education. I was the founder and Calcutta city head for time for about 10 years. And for the last 2 years, I have been co-founder with VistaMind. And my co-panelist, ARKS Srinivas, or ARKS as he's called, my classmate from IIM Calcutta, he was All India CAT director for time from their head office at Hyderabad, then the Mumbai city head for time, and again CEO for VistaMind for the last 2.5 years. Okay. So let's start by looking at the agenda for today. We are first going to have a quick look at why should we do an MBA, right? We are living in a phase where the number of CAT aspirants is falling a little bit. There are people raising all kind of questions. There are people worried about, is MBA worth it when the fees is very high? Are placements genuine? Is there any risk? And so on and so forth. So while definitely there are certain risks, but there are many big advantages that people are not seeing. So I think we wanted to start with what really is the kind of career that you get from an MBA. Then we'll spend some time on CAT. We'll understand what is this scores, raw score, scale score, percentile, and so on for some time. What does it take to get into an IIM? And then once we know that, once we understand the selection process, okay, how do you get these percentiles? How do you get these percentiles? How do you prepare for each area of CAT? That is the next. And then we'll look at what is it that VistaMind as an organization offers to people who are preparing for CAT. See, one of the biggest things that I see, which many young people are unable to appreciate, is this is one career which is very, very sector independent. Okay, I passed out from IIM Calcutta in 1997. That's about 14 years, 16 years now. More than that? 18 years. Okay, right. So in between that, I have seen so many of my classmates make completely, let us say, perpendicular shifts in career. People have moved from FMCG to consumer durables to B2B sales. They have moved to e-commerce. They have moved to banking, private equity. They have gone to just about every particular sector. Why is that possible? It is possible because every business sector, yeah, I think somebody has not muted the microphone. Right. So every business sector requires management expertise, and because management expertise is required, there is a place for MBAs. From healthcare to entertainment to hospitality to just about any sector that you think of, including the newly emerging sectors, right? Let's say Uber and Ola cabs, significant number of MBA students out there. Flipkart and Amazon, they are recruiting in large numbers from the top B schools. So whether it's an old economy sector, new economy sector, services, products, B2B, consumer, all sectors you are able to get this. Okay. Why is that important to you? It is important for two reasons. One is, what is your interest? Right? And sometimes we are not able to find out what our interest is unless we actually do work in that particular sector. What if your interests change over the next 5 to 6 years? A doctor who has worked for 8 years can't suddenly say, look, I want to do something different. He will find it difficult to make a career. But an MBA can move sectors, and that's a huge advantage. Second, opportunities can keep changing. Some 7, 8 years back, telecom was seen as a very, very hot and growing sector. Today, telecom is seen as a very stable and slightly risky sector in that sense. Right. Okay. Today we are looking at, let's say, e-commerce, Flipkart as the big growth sectors, but then it might turn out to be a bubble, and 4 years down the line that sector may not be good as far as building a career. There might be some other sector. Only management as a career gives you this option of moving from sector to sector. You can actually go from any sector to any sector based on your interest, your passion, as well as the market opportunities, and that's a huge advantage. Second, given the worry about MBA colleges charging very high fees, people ask this question: is it worth doing an MBA? Will we get that return back? And it's a valid question. I've always felt that students at higher education level should always ask this question: how much am I spending, and do I get adequate return for what I'm spending? Because people are not doing higher education just for the sake of it. They are doing it to get a career. Therefore, it's a very valid question to ask that how much am I spending, what's my total cost, and what's the kind of return I'm able to. Right. Once again, students, those who have not muted your microphone, please do that. Yeah. Can you see if there is a feature that you can mute from this side?
I am trying that. You continue as of now. I'll keep muting if there is a problem. Okay?
Right.
In fact, there are a couple of people who I had to mute. I'll keep doing that.
Right. Okay. So when we passed out, again, I'll sort of go back a little bit back to my IIM-Cal days from time to time. We passed out with an average salary of about 2 lakhs. And the fees that we paid for 4 semesters was about 2 lakhs. And while the fees has significantly increased over the 17-18 years, so has the salaries that people are commanding. So in a way, that kind of balance is still there. So today an IIM Calcutta can have a 16 lakh fees, but they also give you a 16 lakh package, which I think is a pretty good return on investment. Okay, please understand that if I ask you what is the best financial investment that you can ever make in your life, it is not the stock market, it is not real estate, it is not fixed deposits, it is education. Right? I would rather you forego buying that house and invest in education first, because the kind of returns a good education can get you, nothing else can probably match that. So your first priority, again remember, this is obviously like all sectors, there are good investments and bad investments. So if you pick a bad college and then put your money, it will not yield results. But if it's a clear-cut top B school, then absolutely no hesitation in putting the fees down.
In fact, if I may just give a simple information to these people here. Those of you who have what Mr. Rahul has just now said, in our area, in fact, the kind of a survey that we have done for the last 15 years, if you start your 15 years back, had you started off your MBA, let's say, salary of 2 lakhs, 15 years later, you would be surprised, and probably it will be a mind-boggling thing to realize that an average salary of that batch of IIM students in 15 years has reached something like 60 lakhs per annum, not adding the bonuses, which is what I think Mr. Rahul has said, that the CAGR, the compounded growth is like tremendous. Now please also realize it's just one part of it, the money. The reason more than the money which is important is the growth that you will get in terms of responsibility, and I think that makes MBA a very lucrative sector. Rahul.
Yeah. So the same batch of people who started with a 2 lakh per year 18 years back have reached 60. So we are talking about 30 into 30x in something like 8 years. Now, if you can tell me which financial investment.
Continue.
Yeah.
Our friend Piyush Joshi was talking.
So we are looking, so the packages that are given at the time of exit from a college are well known. Okay, so that is reported in newspapers, it comes on social media. This is the package that you got from IIM, SEM, HRD, IFT, etc. But please understand that package is only one part. There is a significant growth that happens year on year, and that growth is also faster than the kind of growth you get in almost any other sector. I don't believe there is any sector that gives you the kind of growth rate that you get as far as salary packages are concerned, and definitely not something like IT, where the growth rate of salaries have come to a very, very slow rate right now. Third thing that we look at is this is a high growth area, and it is also very merit based growth. It's not a seniority basis kind of a growth. There are a lot of people who are looking at government exams. I'll get into a bank PO kind of a role, I'll write an SSC kind of a role. But please understand, definitely one of the big reasons for looking at government exams is the security. But security is not something that comes free. Security comes at a cost. Okay? And the cost of security is low growth. There is low growth in salaries as well as low growth as far as designation, authority, challenges, and the positions of responsibility that you can aspire. Okay, the same, we are talking about becoming a general manager by the age of 35, a vice president by the age of 40, and possible CEO in the age of 50. That is something that no PSU company is ever going to. In fact, if you reach GM, that's good enough, and that you'll probably be a GM for a couple of years and then retire. That's probably the end of the dream. Okay, and given the security aspect, very few POs actually leave their job. Therefore, everybody continues, and pure seniority-based promotion, there is hardly any chance for what is called as fast growth. Okay, I'm not against people joining government jobs, but understand what you are getting and what you are missing out. If you want a safe middle-class life, then definitely it's an option. But if you are thinking big, right? If you say, "Yaar, life mein kabhi Mercedes honi chahiye," then I don't think a PO job will ever get you that, ever. Okay, because we see government employees that typically retire with 1-2 BHK flat and a normal car. That's the kind of they start middle class, they end middle class. Not that I'm against it, but know what is possible and what is not possible, so that you do not take up something and then regret, no, I should have done that because see that guy is doing much better. That kind of dissatisfaction you should not have later on in life. Lastly, personal satisfaction is something that I'm very, it is something which is subjective, but I have seen based on my interaction with not just my classmates, but so many students that we have sent to the top B school over the last 12 years. I think the range would be in thousands of people sent to IIMs and top B schools, and so many of them keep in touch, especially because of social media, and they are actually, you can see that they are full of life, full of energy and enthusiasm, because they are living a challenging life, they take decisions, their work is exciting, and they get to lead people. Okay, which other career gives you all four of these? You can take a decision, can I launch the product, and I'm putting in say 30 crores in the launch strategy itself. how to take my product and enter Australia. That's a decision you're going to take. How many people get to do these kind of decisions? How many people implement policies that affect, say, 2,000 people below them? And you get to do that by the age of 40. Okay, so I hope we had a clear look at what are the key advantages that you're getting from an MBA. Okay, I covered this. See, one of the reasons why people worry about MBA fees is the salaries increased steadily over the last 15, 18 years. But the fees did not increase for some time, and last 4, 5 years they suddenly shot up. So that sort of, second is the kind of mindset that we have that no, government colleges normally don't charge high. So suddenly you see IIMs charging high, and then you get this, so why is it that the fee is so high? But as I said, the return of investment is very good. 4 to 5 years, people are normally able to pay significant amount or sometimes even the entire education loan, which is fine because you have a career for at least 25 years. 5 years you pay off your loan, 20 years the money is yours. Any EMI might appear difficult maybe for the first year, but remember your salary keeps increasing, EMI remains constant. In fact, we have talked to people in banks and they are trying to work out a balloon EMI kind of scheme wherein the EMI also increases, starts small and increases as your salary increases. That would make it easier for people to. The other concerns that people have is, I don't have work experience, how can I do an MBA, or I don't really have a chance. There are many reasons people say I don't have a chance. My academic background is not good, so I don't have a chance. I don't have work ex, so I don't have a chance. I'm not an engineer, so I don't have a chance. What are all these? All these are nothing but excuses. Right? ARKS sir was from Usmania Engineering College, which is the #1 college at Andhra Pradesh. I was from the number 22nd college at that time, when we had only about 40 colleges. Okay, hardly anybody from my batch. I was the only person from my batch to make it to an IIM. I was the only person in 4 batches in last 4 years, from 1991 to 95, to make it to an IIM. But why? Not because I was special, but because others were not trying. Obviously, if nobody tries, how will anybody get through? If there are 30 people trying, then somebody will get through. But if people start with saying, "Mera hoga nahi," then obviously nahi hoga, because people are then not even taking a call, not even going for it. There are many people in the IIMs who come from normal colleges, normal backgrounds, people who don't have work ex. There are people who have work ex. It's a mixed bag. Okay, first, yes, the IIMs give some weightage to work ex. If you have work ex, they will give you a few points more in the selection process. But the points is very, very small. Some of the IIMs hardly give anything, they give 0. Some of the IIMs give 3%, 5%. The maximum anybody gives is 10%, the maximum. Among all the 13 IIMs, there is one IIM which gives 10% weightage to work ex, another which gives 8%, all others are less than 5%. Again, remember, this is the age of transparency. You go to IIM websites, you can find out the batch profile. You will see there are many freshers in each batch. There are many freshers, there are many people with 4 or 5 months experience, 6 months experience. Okay, so the idea that if I don't have work experience, I cannot get through is completely wrong. Last point on this, if you ask people at the IIM and say, okay, when did you joined after 2 years work experience? Let's say we have a student in the IIM who joined after 2 years of work experience. If you ask him, he will tell you the truth. The idea, the plan was never to join after 2 years. He gave CAT in the final year of engineering, missed out, so gave a second time or a third time and got through. And by that time he gave second or third attempt, he also managed to get some work experience. So ऐसा नहीं है कि 2 साल बाद ही join करना है. The idea is you join when you get a seat. And because of competition, and some people don't want to join lower colleges, so they wait and try second and third attempts. And by the time they get in, they have already got some work experience. So these are people who are getting in because their score is good, not because of the work experience. The others, I'm a non-engineer. Is there a choice? Let's be honest, a large number of engineers have made it to the top B schools. But nobody is giving them any seat because they're engineers. Nobody is giving them 1 mark extra because they're engineers. They have got in because they did well in the CAT exam, they did well in the JDs and interviews. But also understand it is large number of engineers make it to the top B schools because large number of engineers write the exam. So obviously, if you want to succeed, first step is you have to prepare and write the exam. Second is, the IIMs and top B schools are concerned that the batch is too much of engineers, so they've actually started giving additional points, 2 to 5 percentage points, specifically to non-engineers. So an engineer has no advantage. In fact, a non-engineer has a little bit of an advantage. Small amount, but yes, it is a way in which the IIMs are trying to encourage more non-engineers to prepare, write for CAT, and hopefully make it to the IIMs. Now, let's analyze what are our chances. This is also a very strange statement. The people who keep writing banking exams year after year, they don't think of chances. You know, there are 600 PO posts and 10 lakh people writing. There they don't think of chances. But somehow here, when it comes to CAT, they say, no, my chances are very low. Okay. But remember, that is, they are doing this without a proper analysis of what chances are. First thing is, you want a career in management. You want to be successful. You want a job. That is your end objective. Getting a seat is a middle part. You know, it's an intermediate step. That is not the end. Okay. How many IIMs are there? There are 13 IIMs. In addition to that, another 5-6 IIMs have been sanctioned and will be started very soon. Okay. Most likely for CAT15, we will have a few more IIMs. Maybe 4, maybe 6, depending on how quickly they can start. Most of the IIMs have also increased their seats a little bit. Some of them have started additional programs, specific program in HRM, specific program in agribusiness management, and so on. Additionally, there are many other top B schools that we don't know of, which also give very good placements. There is XLRI, Jamshedpur, there is FMS Delhi. All the IITs have launched management programs. They are very good. There is an MDI Gurgaon, there is an SPJ in Mumbai, there is an RC Mohanji, there is an XIM Bhubaneswar. So there are many good colleges. To get into the top IIMs like Ahmedabad and Calcutta, you might require a 99.5 percentile. That means you have to be in the top 0.5% among all the people writing CAT. But to get into any top 10 college, something like 98 percentile might be enough. Be in the top 2 percentile. To get into, say, top 20 colleges in the country, 95, 96 percentile might be enough. If you are looking at top 40 colleges, maybe, 85, 90 also might be enough depending on the college and your profile. Is it worth joining a top 40 college? This is what students ask me. I said, look, I'll answer that question, but first you tell me, where did you do graduation from, and that college, what is the rank across India? Your engineering college, what's the rank across India? It probably won't be in the top 100 unless it's an IIT or an NIT or a JU. So if that was worth it, why are you so worried about the top 40 college? Okay. Out of 2000 B schools in India, we are saying number 40. That's a very good number. Today, a 40th rank B school in India will have close to 100% placement and probably get a salary of above 8 lakhs. which is pretty good for most of us as a starting salary. Okay, ARKS, you'd like to add something?
No, I think what completely these guys, we need to explain to all of you guys is that look, lots of questions are coming in. Is 1 year experience good enough? 2 years is enough? Without engineering, with 75% is it enough? Etc. Typically, friends, one of the reasons why CAT as an exam is very, very important is because despite the sins of your past, when I'm saying the sins like your 10th, 12th degree, you may not have done well, or you may not have any experience, or even if you have any experience, it may not be relevant to the kind of area that you want to get into. It is the CAT exam. If the percentile is very good, you can offset all the other sins. That's point number one. Second, as I think Mr. Rahul has very correctly said, the reason and the real reason why people don't get into the IIMs, don't get into the top institutes is not because the CAT is difficult. It is because your consistency in preparation is always lacking. For example, somebody is asking, just now Usha is asking me, is preparation for 4-5 months sufficient? Now, point I'm trying to say is, first, are you going to spend seriously 3 months at least? Because if you can spend 3 to 4 months of preparation without much of an ado, let me assure you, and let me every one of you here who are listening to this assure you, friends, it's very, very easy to crack CAT. Remember, CAT has very, very basic areas: arithmetic, algebra, basic vocabulary, grammar, reading comprehension, and reasoning, data interpretation kind of things, which every one of us, given a little time and practice, you can get there. That's what we're going to talk about. How do you prepare also is one of the plans of it. So first, you need to bring, or you need to keep your worries out, saying that, yaar, mera kya ho jayega types. Okay, so if what will happen of me, or how would I do it kind of questions, you should set it aside. Say that, okay, how do I make it? For example, Rahul was saying it and I was saying it. See, when we wrote CAT, or even right now when we train students for CAT, or we continue to give advice people for CAT, what we just say is, boss, give every week something like 10 to 15 hours of your serious preparation. You can't expect to get into an IIM Ahmedabad or an IIM Bangalore or a Calcutta, expect to get a 20 lakh salary or a 15 lakh salary per month, per annum, and don't put any effort for it. The issue is not the effort. The issue is not about getting through. The issue is only one thing, and that's your effort. That's the key thing that you need to understand. And Mahalakshmi is asking, how many months should I prepare to crack an exam? It is not a simple answer. Somebody can do it in 2 months. Somebody will take 6 months for it. But if you ask me a very typical answer, it's a very easily you can do it in 5 to 6 months. If, again, I'm a big if there, that you are being consistent in your preparation. That is where probably VistaMind and people like us can, prod you, push you, mentor you, and try to get you there. That's the plan, right, Rahul?
Absolutely. So I think we cannot do a linear correlation between this many months is enough kind of a thing. But broadly, I would say if people prepare carefully in a structured manner, something like 6 months should be enough. Does it mean it won't help if you do 9 months? Yes, it will help. There are people who start early, and obviously some advantage will be there. Okay. But the key is, more important than how many this thing is the regularity with which you study and the structured manner with which you do. See, let me do a simple math for you. Let's say that first 3 months, that is 180 days, you study only 2 hours a day. Okay, so that is 360 hours. Next 3 months, another 180 days, you study for 3 hours a day. Am I asking for something very difficult? How much is 180 into 3? 540. 540 plus 360 is 900. Okay. Do you seriously think 900 hours is a joke as far as preparation is concerned? Okay, this is in addition to the classes. If you attend classes, I'm talking about your own preparation. 900 hours of preparation is a lot. Some of you may not have spent 900 hours in, say, all 8 semesters of exam preparation. Okay. And what is the worst that can happen? Okay, what is the worst that can happen is you don't make it. You will not get a bad percentile. You may not get enough for the top B school that you want. Okay, but if you are, but you always have the option of going again. Because my worry is 6 months is not enough, so I don't do anything. That is my worry. Look, give it your 100% for 6 months. What's the worst that can happen? If it is not enough, try once more. If you are in engineering and any kind of campus selection is happening, because you're preparing for CAT, you will crack that thing. Okay. In case you're still looking at bank PO, boss, if you prepare well for CAT, you can crack that, because this is the tougher exam. To prepare for a tougher exam, the easier exams are easy. So once you do the preparation, there are so many options. Okay, suppose I prepare very hard for 6 months, I get only 92%. What are the options I have? Okay, if I have a job, I can go do a job and write CAT again. It's a good option. I could go and write banking and government exams. That's a possible option. I could say, okay, what are the decent colleges that get 92? Let me go there and try to do well there rather than waste a year. That is also possible. So all the possibilities you are getting are still very good, even if you fail in your target. Because trying for 99 and getting 92 is not a failure. What is a failure is, अरे 6 months में तो नहीं होगा, छोड़ देते हैं. That is a failure in my definition. Okay, so giving up is failure. Okay, falling little short is not failure. You gave 100% effort, got a little less than what you expected. Maybe you got 1 B school lower. All that fine. Either you can accept number 20 rank college, or you can try again. Both options are there.
One important thing to continue with what sir is saying is that, like, look, understand that your career is for 35, 40 years, guys. So you need to put in some effort to get that career of your choice. And if I may jump the gun and say, hey, listen, the reason why people like us exist is to kind of give you the right guidance. I'm not saying that just because VistaMind is there or ARKS and Rahul are going to teach you, you're going to get into an IIM. No, I don't say that, and that's stupidity also. What I'm saying is, look, when you are down, when you need the right mentorship, when you need the kind of a direction for preparation, that is where probably we will be able to help you. That is partially. The second most important thing is, first you should be clear about why you want to do an MBA. MBA should not be done because you want to get out of your present job. MBA should not be done just because you hate engineering. MBA should not be done by girls because they want to avoid marriage. While I know that some of you want to do that, there is no doubt about it. What I am trying to say is, these are narrow reasons for doing an MBA. While they are valid reasons, but they are very narrow reasons. If only you have the ability to look into future. When you start seeing that your career is a lot bigger than current problems that you have, the current issues you have in life, you will start seeing that why MBA would be a huge bet to take up, and therefore you will not worry about preparing for 5 or 6 months even. By the way, just for information, we have 7 months to go starting April today. But even if you start off at the end of this month, some of you have exams till May, you start off in June, but then I'm saying starting off, doing it correctly, we will do it. In fact, that's the plan of what we have, saying that what should you do depending on when you start. Rahul.
Yeah. See, while we are quite happy to answer most of your questions, but I would like also that you do a little bit of thinking here, right? While looking at asking questions. For example, what is the difference in placement between, let's say, Ahmedabad and Lucknow, Indore is not good, Kozhikode is not good enough. Why are we getting into these kind of issues? What is good enough, right? Second, are you going to prepare for 99 percentile, and is there a specific preparation for 97 and something different for 99? No, you can't, right? So let's not get into things like, if I answer how many questions, I'll get 99%. Look, there is a process. Let's look at preparation. Preparation is not different for 99 and 97 and 96. People are trying to do their best, and relative performance will decide. Relative performance will decide whether you end up with the 99 percentile or 98 percentile.
Correct.
Right. So, Mohit, the question that you asked, is it good to join an 8 to 9 lakh package? No, there is no option. It is one of the options that you have. There are many people who join it. Why do they do it? Because the alternative is to prepare for CAT again. Now, it's a bit of a risk. If I prepare for CAT again, I might get better college next year, or I might not. So if I don't get a better college next year, then I've lost 1 year and I've not got any benefit. So they think about it and then take a decision. So normally people who do first attempt, they say, okay, I'll try again. So it depends whether you have the motivation to try again. It depends on how many years you've already tried. It depends whether you have a job in hand which you can do while writing CAT again, like that. So it is very individual specific. Similarly, students who are asking questions about, I don't know why I get why my score is not good. That is something that I cannot answer, because each person has very specific issues. Let me explain what we do with our students. When a student comes to us, ARKS or me, we sit with them and try to see their scores. Okay, what have you in mock CAT 2, mock CAT 3, mock CAT 4? And we find some patterns and say, okay, here the number of attempts is lower. And then we ask a lot of questions. How much time are you spending in each set? Are you prepared for this? Which section are you starting from? Okay, what are your weak areas? How many questions from that weak areas are coming? So there's a lot of analysis that goes. What are the questions that you are leaving? What are the questions we are spending too much time? So remember, it's like a doctor. You have to spend 5 minutes on analyzing the patient. You have to do some pathology tests and then say this is a problem and then give medicine. So we cannot generally give medicine, the same medicine to everybody. See, validity of CAT score really depends upon whether, it depends on the college. There are some colleges who will accept a CAT score next year also, but most colleges do not.
Almost none of the top do.
One odd college might be there, but maximum colleges will basically say, okay, this CAT is for this year.
Correct, so it is valid for 1 year from the time you write for the next year, but not for the next academic year. So it will be for the upcoming academic year.
So if you write CAT 15, any admission in the year 2016, it will be valid. For admissions in 2017, you will have to write CAT 16. Okay, Maninder Singh, you've asked a good question. It's a question that we'll have to look at for a lot of people. One is, MBA, there is no particular graduation specialization that is most suited to MBA. Should I do MBA after BCom? Should I do it after BBA? You can. You can do it after any graduation. Can I do an MBA after MA English? There are some very good students of mine who are doing it, who have done MA English, then did their MBA and are very successful.
Rahul, I think let's finish the thing and then take the questions now, because otherwise we'll be only answering questions and not the thing. Hey guys, can you just hold on with your questions till we finish in the next 20 minutes the entire plan, and then after that every question that comes to you we will answer. Is that okay? Both of us will be there, and whenever you're asking a question, send a mail, send a chat to everyone. That is very, very useful. Okay? Yeah, okay. Rahul.
Right. So how do the IIMs select students? Back in our days, we had no idea. We used to write CAT and wait for the letter to come home. Okay. So, but now IIMs are much more transparent. They are giving out their details as far as their what are the selection parameters, what are the weightages that we are that they give for what are the weightages that they give to each parameter. Now, remember, while the exam CAT is common, okay, while the exam is common, the weightages are different for each IIM. Each IIM has slightly different selection formula. Okay. Now, when you look at CAT score is the highest weightage to get an admission letter, and in most IIMs, even after doing interview for the final selection also, CAT score has the maximum weightage or close to the maximum weightage. The interview is the second most important, but remember there are some exceptions. Okay, IIM Bangalore and IIM Indore are the exceptions to this rule, because IIM Bangalore and IIM Indore, they give greater weightage to class 10, 12 kind of scores. Right. Then after that, these two are the main parameters. Then written essay has about 10% weightage for most of the IIMs. Academic profile weightage is 5 to 8%. Again, the only two exceptions are Bangalore and Indore, which give high weightage to academic profile. So there are people who ask us these questions. No, I have not done too well. I have only 65 in graduation. I have only 72 in 10th and 12th. So can I get? Oh, definitely you can get. You may not get Bangalore or Indore, but remaining IIMs is definitely possible. Then work experience, we already covered it. There are some of the IIMs which give zero weightage to work experience, and others give weightage between 5 to 10%. That's all. And work experience weightage is given based on the number of months of work experience you have. Okay, so a minimum of 6 months, below that you get 0, and you start getting points up to 36 months. Most of the IIMs do not give any additional points if you cross 36. Because if you cross 3 years of work ex, they are basically saying maybe you should consider an executive MBA. Ritika, drop after BTech, drop between 12th and BTech. As long as it's only 1 year, it normally does not make a difference. We have worked with many students who are successful in getting into a B school. As long as they're able to explain that drop, that's okay. Yes, Arjun, that's another question people keep asking. Look, all types of work experience counts. Any full-time paid work experience which is not a part of any full-time work experience which is not a part of your subject, like internship, projects, they don't count. But any full-time work experience after graduation counts. Right. Other factors, as I said, there are two other factors that normally we talk about. One I mentioned, which is IIMs are trying to encourage non-MBAs to participate, to take up CAT and apply. So they're giving a small amount of weightage to non-MBAs. Second, some of the IIMs are also giving a small weightage to women candidates to try and encourage more women to take up management. But this is also 2 to 3%, not more than that. Okay.
Okay, here is, can I continue from here?
Yeah, right.
Okay. So guys, coming back to lots of questions. Tanushree, you have been asking these questions apart from CAT, what should I write kind of things. First and foremost, if you prepare for the CAT exam, you will see that the areas, we will talk about the areas very quickly. All the areas in CAT, if you prepare for, you would more or less be able to attempt all other exams also. There are only two areas, especially the current affairs and general knowledge areas, which come in SNAP and IIFT kind of exams, which you might have to prepare slightly differently. In fact, there are a couple of questions also which we will answer to. But the one most important idea to understand is, finally, why would you write an exam? It will be because there are institutes which take that exam as a written test. In this country, in India, CAT is the written test for almost all the top institutes in the country. Almost all the top institutes in the country. The exceptions are there on your screen. XAT, the Xavier's aptitude test, is the only test through which you can get into XLRI. Mind you, SPJ and IIM Bhubaneswar, GIM, LIBA, they all take through CAT also. But XAT as an exam is specifically also conducted for XLRI. Other institutes take that course. SNAP, the Symbiosis National Aptitude Test, is the only test through which you can get into all the symbiosis institutes, the SIBMs, the SCMHRDs, the SIIBs of the world. And the other institutes which are, very specific and only they use only their written tests are the IIFTs, the IIFT in Kolkata, the Delhi and Kolkata, the Narsi Monji Institute of Management Studies, the NMAT exam, and IRMA, which is basically a rural management Institute of Rural Management at Anand, which also has its own exam. They also have a shortlist through CAT, but typically they have their own exam, which is more to do with the social sector, and a lot of GK on the rural economy is asked. So preparation for key is going to make a huge difference for your overall understanding of which when you want to get into an MBA in that sense. Okay. Now here is where very quickly for all of you who have not really looked at CAT. CAT till 2008 was a offline exam where the number of questions used to be in the range of sometimes 150 or 120 kind of things. But when you look at what happened in 2009 to 2013 really, the number of questions kept on dropping. In fact, it went down to 60 questions in 2013 where there were only 2 sections. Once again, that's also because to a large extent, it was not a computer it was a partially a computer adaptive, not a computer based test. But thankfully, in one way of looking at it, the last CAT, that is the CAT 2014, is a pure computer based test where the questions are available on the website on the computer, and you are answering the questions in whichever order you want to go. Also, while the timing that I have given you is 75 minutes for each section, actually you have 2.5 hours, 75 plus 75, 150 minutes, and you can actually give time to, you can distribute this time between the 2 sections of 50 questions each. The last year's model was conducted in just 2 days, one in the morning, one in the evening on day 1, and another morning and evening in the day 2, and everybody got the same exam paper, which was again not true for the previous year's online exams. There is a big chance that this particular year, that is CAT 2015, you may have the entire exam in just one single day where everybody gets the same paper, which means the normalization problem is completely taken care of. Even now, while there is some issue about normalization, that has been kind of reduced or mitigated by making this exam into only 4 different slots. As you can see, the areas which have come in CAT, the quantitative aptitude, the data interpretation, which is normally given in one single section, and in section 2 you have the verbal ability, which is grammar and vocabulary and verbal reasoning, reading comprehension, where your passages are given and questions on passages are given to you, and the third is logical or analytical reasoning, which is again a very interesting section, which is a scoring section even for the section 2 as such. So together there are 100 questions to be solved in 150 minutes. So typically you have more than a minute obviously for each question. There are people, like some people have been asking on the thing, what constitutes to get a 99 percentile or a 98 percentile or a 90 percentile kind of things. Please remember, it is a function of 2 things. A function of the difficulty of the paper and a function of how the other students have done this paper. If the paper is very easy, your 99 percentile can go up to 200 marks out of 300 or 205 marks out of 300. whereas the paper is very difficult, chances are that at 99%, to get a 99 percentile, you may need only 160 marks out of 300. When I'm saying 300 marks, mind you, for each question, it is plus 3 marks for the right answer. So that means if there are 100 questions, the total paper is for 300 marks. Okay, that's what for you to understand in that sense. So this is a very quick understanding of CAT, but what I think is very important is for you to understand the nature of this exam. The paper is not a test of, it's a test of skill but not of memory. You can't by heart an exam. In fact, one of the key things that we have seen for 17 years after training for CAT is that, look, how many ever formulae you may mug up, you will still not be able to get it. There are no shortcuts. While you might find on the websites, on various forums, that there are shortcuts, faster ways to do your quant paper or a DI paper, somewhere you need to realize if that was so easy and everybody knew this shortcut, then everybody should get a 99.9 percentile. They don't. Because shortcuts are only useful if you have the basics. That's the reason why when we say how to prepare, the first point there is sound fundamentals. I am not saying there are no shortcuts at all. For example, in time and distance, time and speed, or even in the remainder theorem in numbers, you can juggle out and say, hey, wow, this is what the answer is. But for you to get that, the eureka moment also, you need to have basics of which area, that area you are working. Unless the basics are strong, you are not going to get anywhere. When I'm talking about basics, friends, here is where I keep asking this question to all and sundry, wherever I have gone, that boss, if you have done your 8th, 9th and 10th classes properly, 8th, 9th and 10th classes properly, especially the math area, CAT will become easy. CAT is a cinch. However, what we have looked at that point of time is not to develop skill, not to develop learning, but to get marks. Here is the time to go back and look at those basics, arithmetic or algebra or geometry or numbers or permutation combinations, basic areas where you go back and look at the fundamentals. Because once you understand the fundamentals, the next thing is to just practice. It's like playing a table tennis game or a badminton, or for that matter, cricket or any game as such. The more, or for that matter, your computer games or your Android cell phone games that you probably have. The first time you do it, you will obviously not do well, but you keep on practicing because you know the fundamentals, how to play. Then the fundamentals will become better and better when you keep on practicing it. That's the reason why the second one is loads of practice. Then there's something called balanced preparation. This is important for you to understand. A person who is very good at quantitative ability, let's say he's a good engineer who really likes mathematics, he or she will keep on spending time on mathematics because that is what the good area for you is. You feel good about doing that all the time. That is suicidal. You need to probably spend more time on improving your vocabulary, your grammar, or your reading and reading speeds as such. Similarly, for a person, for a girl or a boy who is comfortable reading, who has always been comfortable in English, but are afraid of numbers. There is a student I heard who says who doesn't like data interpretation because he doesn't like seeing the table or a graph. That is where you need to embrace the graph more. You need to try to say, boss, let me see the goddamn thing 10 times till I become comfortable. So when I talk about balanced preparation, the idea is depending on your strength or weakness. If somebody asks me, should we start with our weak area? It's not about starting or ending with weak or strong area. You need to start off with all areas. You need to plan your areas properly. ऐसा नहीं होने वाला है. It is not going to happen this way. First finish quant, then finish DI, then finish reasoning. That is not going to happen. every week, if not every day, you need to give time to all the areas which come in CAT, including current affairs and general knowledge, where you need to read your newspapers on a regular basis. When we talk about smart approach, this is where our institutes like VistaMind can help you, because as an engineer, you are, or a non-engineer, some of you may be there, you have this X factor. Every question you start with, let there be X. You can't keep on doing everything in an X manner, because while you will get the answer, you will spend 3 to 5 minutes on wasting your time on getting an answer, simply because you are following the longer approach. When we talk about speed maths in our classes, the reason why we do speed maths so that you can practice speed maths. If you don't, you will again keep doing the same multiplication, and 2 plus 2 will again you have to use your calculator. You need to throw away your calculators. So the way to approach every area, reading comprehension, how do you improve your reading speeds? How do you improve vocabulary? Is it that you need to by heart 100 words, or is there a method in the madness called root prefix suffix method? Is there any way you can remember grammar rules? Because there are hundreds of rules. How do I understand a noun, a pronoun, an adjective, an adverb, a verb, and subject-verb combinations and adjective-noun combinations? How do I understand this in a very structured learning? In fact, an MBA will give you structured thinking. A training will give you structured learning. You can learn without any teaching also. What I think will be important is not waste time, because we have 4 to 5 months or 5 to 6 months of preparation left. Of course, next area, despite all the preparation, that is one part of your area. The second area, and a big area, is boss, you need to write mocks. Lot of people do not write the mocks because they say they have not prepared enough. That is pure excuse, as Rahul sir has said a little while back. It's an excuse because you are afraid to get less marks. Buddies, get 0, get negative, doesn't matter. But at least you know that you're getting a bloody 0. But if you don't write, you will, you want to feel good about it. There's nothing like a feel good factor. You need to, sorry to use a cliche, but you need to, catch the bull by the horn, as they say. If you're not getting marks, you should see for yourself that you're getting only 5, 10 marks or 25, 30 marks or 50, 70 marks, and you need to go to that 200 mark, 220 mark list. There is a path towards it, and for that, the only way to do it is preparation is only 50% or even 40% of the game. The other 50% or 40% of the game is going to be, using the mocks, the smart cats as we call them in VistaMind, because they are going to be prepared by us. As somebody has asked, this time we are going to do it, Rahul sir, myself, all of us who have been training for the last so many years, we're going to prepare so that it is as close to the real CAT as possible. Last 2 areas, why this is important, like even a Sachin Tendulkar or a Roger Federer or a Saina Nehwal or a Lee Zhu, whatever her name is, #1 in the badminton or #1 anywhere in the world, you will need the right guidance, the right mentorship, and that's what any exam requires. Anything that you want a competitive area requires. While I am not a great believer of luck, one other thing about this, boss, you need to put in your effort. As if somebody said, 99 percentile, is it good enough? 94 percentile, is it good enough? Doesn't matter. You need a little bit of luck and a lot of confidence when you are doing this exam. Here is where a very quick 7-month plan. Those of you who have lots of questions, you can ask these after this. In fact, Rahul, if you can also answer some of the chats which are happening, that will be useful. This is my simple 7-month plan. We are now in April, friends. The exam, chances are the exam will be in November. April, May, June, July, August, September, October. 7 months to go. In 7 months, where should you be? So the way I look at it is, I'm a chess enthusiast. So I try to, put this 7 months into these 3 levels. Then opening moves, which are the longer moves, actually. The middle game, and the end game. Typically, believe me, if if I can this
Hello.
Today, if you have 90 days, it can go down to 65 days or even 75 days. Similarly, the middle game that we're talking about, we are talking about anything between something like, and the last one also between 45 to 60 days. Typically, somebody asks me what is the least that you want to do. The least number of days which will make it really comfortable is something like maximum of something like 5 months. That means even if you start somewhere around June, you should be comfortably able to make it to this year CAT 2015 and get into even an IIM Ahmedabad and Calcutta. That is our guarantee. So what do you do in this opening moves? What are the middle game and what is the end game? Let me start with the end game first. It is the last 60 days. What should you be? Instead of looking at what I should do now, where should you be when you are just looking at a staring into an exam 60 days from then or 45 days from then? So therefore, let's look at, let's say you are on 1st of September. Depends. If the exam is on November 15th, then it will be September 15th or even October 1st. By the time you are only about 45 days or 1 month away from the actual exam, you should have done revision from whatever areas, topics are there at least twice. One more thing that you need to be by that time is, at least when you look at a question or questions in a paper, you should have at least 90% recognition ability. When I'm saying recognition ability, it should not suddenly hit you that you don't even know which area that question or the topic is from. So 90% recognition. I'm not even saying 100% recognition. And hopefully by then you would have improved your reading speeds and calculations. In fact, I believe that you can improve your reading speed by at least 100 to 150 words per minute in the next 90 days. In other words, this is the basic logic what you should have been. So what do you do in September and October if that is the last 2 months available for you? There are 60 days available. You will do about 10 smart CATs, and every smart CAT you will do a thorough analysis of what you have done, what you could have done, why you did what you did, and how it could have improved upon it later on. Things. Remember, it is not writing the number of mock CATs. In fact, I know of a lot of people who write, time same CATs, IMS's mock CATs, CL's this thing, VistaMind smart CATs. They want to have 100 smart mock CATs. If writing mock CATs itself is going to get you into an IIM French, then you should write 200. There are 200 days, 200 write down, big deal. My advice, and a very considered advice at that, is this, that boss, you don't need so many mocks. You need absolutely not more than 15, 20 mocks in the entirety of your next 7 months. That's why we give you 20. Even that is very high. But I'm saying the last 60 days is where you will use 10 mocks maximum. Don't be in a, it is not that, it is not, whatever skills, you take sectional tests if you require be, but not full length mocks, because that is not going to help you majorly. Because from between a mock and a mock, you need to kind of improve, and that improvement is what you will do for 5 days in between. When we come closer to that, we will talk about how do you use the last 45 days, 60 days as a seminar also. Those of you, you can always join us and we will give you exactly what you should do. But suffice it to say that last 60 days are where you will only, it's an end game, remember. By the time you would have done basics, you are only now to improving your strategy as an example. Somebody somebody's the thing is. Just check it out, Rahul, who is Mandalam. Just 1 second, guys. I'm sorry. Hello. Mandal Rajiv, you cannot speak. I'm just muted you. If you have any questions, send it from the chat. Okay, thanks. Rahul, you are there? Yeah, okay, fine. I just wanted to ensure that there was somebody who just might have joined, therefore there's a problem. So these are the last 60 days, guys. That is what you need to be. If that is what you need to be, what should you do in the next 75 days to 90 days? But here is very, very simple. Quant every chapter, every topic, every concept, and a lot of exercises. The areas are very simple. Very, very simple. Arithmetic, algebra, numbers, geometry, pure mathematics. There are about 18 topics, 6 in arithmetic, 6 in geometry, algebra, numbers, geometry, mensuration, and pure maths. There are about 3 of them. If I include permutations, probability, and of course the entire statistics area kind of things. DI, again, if you look at it very, very clearly, charts, types of questions and exercises. That's what you do. You know, various kinds of charts are there. Within these charts, for a DI, there are various questions that can come in. You will have to solve as many questions as possible. If you look at DI, there are tables, bar charts, pie charts, line graphs, spider graphs, triangles, and various miscellaneous of that. You know, the basic logic of is, while there are so many of them, what I'm trying to say is they are very easily dividable into next 65, 75 days. And every 5 days, you can pick up one area and become good at it. In fact, in the classes that we do, we take up area by area and make you comfortable with it first, so that the familiarization will become much, much more easier. Okay, that is what the first 60 days is. That at the end of first 60 to 90 days, you know what comes in the CAT exam. You know where it comes from. How do you solve it? You may take 7 minutes to do it, 20 minutes to do it, I don't care. But you should know that, okay, this is the area and these are the kind of questions which can come in. Then English. What do I do for English or this one? Grammar. There are 8 parts of speech. The whole logic of it is to pick up each by area, understand the parts of speech and look at tons of exercises over the 90 days. Then there is vocabulary. Over the next 90 days, I expect that means on a daily basis about probably 10 words a day, you add 1,000 words to your diction. Some of the words are very related to it, because once you know one word, all the words which are related to that same root word you can learn to. So adding that number of words to your diction, to your vocabulary, will make you far better than you will ever think of. 8 to 10 words per day over the next 90 days is very, very essential. Reading speeds, 150 words per minute is what I expect. Improvement by 150. If you are at 150, it should become 300. If it's at 300, it should become 450. If it's at 450, it can go up to 550, 600. In fact, the solving of VA and RC exercise will be the last 30 days among these 90 days. I think, you know, you need to sharpen the skills. When somebody wants to do a 100-meter race, you need to kind of build your biceps, build your muscles, build your stamina, build everything else. And then do the 100-meter race or even a marathon for that matter. Likewise, the solving of VA and RC exercises will come much later. What will be important is your basics of grammar, vocab, and reading speeds. Every day if you read the newspaper, every day you read the editorial, it will really, really be important. VA is verbal ability and RC is reading comprehension. Last but not the least, it is reasoning. Reasoning again has lots and lots of areas, but finally they are puzzles. They are Venn diagrams, questions in Venn diagrams, cubes, where again each one The logic here is that if you start solving them, it becomes familiar for you. It doesn't require any background knowledge of it. It doesn't require, like data interpretation, like English, like reasoning, even like for quant, frankly, there is zero requirement of any background knowledge. And last but not the least, I think the most important period of your game is going to be the middle game. When I'm saying the middle game, was this 60 to 90 days in between. This is where you will win or lose the race. You know, today you have attended this seminar. Some of you will get pumped up. Yes, mujhe CAT karni hai. I think I can do CAT kind of things you will think of. Next 1 week you will do, next 1 month also you will do, next 2 months also you will do. But what is important is the critical time between July, August, probably September, or June, July, August, September. This 3-4 months. You start today, you start tomorrow, you start in May, you start in June, doesn't matter. But sustaining that in the middle, so that one round of, you know what happens when you see a question, yeah, you will feel that I know this exercise. I have solved this exercise. And you don't understand that, look, solving once is not good enough. That's the reason I clearly said you need to do it twice. The same questions. It's not about solving 100 other new questions. The same questions twice can help you. This is the time where I think the smart cats would have been in the middle, which will help you too. This is where you start solving vocab questions, grammar-based questions a lot. This is where you will do a lot more reading comprehension exercises. And this is where you go back and solve all your DI sets that have been given to you once all over again. This is the, believe me, there is nothing better than revision. In fact, if you remember any game, you do it again and again, you will become familiar. The familiarity is what you want, guys. And that is the reason why the middle game. See, now the middle game can be 60 days, 90 days, depending on how you do the first 60 days, 90 days. The smart cats will start off, the first smart cat will be at the end of this month itself, somewhere in the 20th to 21st as a first group. Then the second one will be in May. But then from June onwards, there will be every week, there will be one mock cat or one smart cat. So you need to be very, very clear that you need to, you know, the basic logic of this April one is to figure out where you stand, how you stand, how far is, you know, Ahmedabad, how far is Calcutta, how far is Bangalore IIM for you. I am saying Ahmedabad, Bangalore, Calcutta not because you shouldn't go to an IIT or an SPJ in French. Boss, try for the best, figure it out what helps kind of things. And in the middle game is also the time when you experiment on your strategies. You experiment on strategies in the terms of saying that should I start my quant first in the exam, should I start with DI first, verbal first, or RC first, or whatever that may be. Should I attempt more questions, should I attempt less questions? All these questions can be very easily answered when you look at that middle game in that sense. So the preparation, when we talk about it, friends, divide your preparation into 3 parts. The first 60 days to 90 days, next 60 days to 75 days, and the last 45 days to 60 days. And each area is very, very important. The earlier you start. See, the key thing here is that you want to do an MBA. Once you've decided to an MBA, boss, try to do it from the best. You don't get it, that's okay. That's okay. You can get into the next best and the next best. But try for the next best. 6 months, 7 months of serious preparation can get you anywhere you want. Which is what some of the students who probably have heard me say this, it is not difficult if you really know how it is. Okay? Now, this is last but not the thing. Couple of areas that I would like to talk to you about. This is my team. Why VistaMind? See, at the end of the day, what is important for your exam? That somebody guides you through the material, guides you through your preparation, tells you how to prepare, what to prepare, and if I even use the word techniques of preparation, it gives enough smart catch or the mock catch to make sure that you know where you are going, and most importantly, a mentor who can continuously be there available to you online and offline if required be, to ensure that you make it to the best institutes in the country. My team friends, if you can see, is a very star-studded team. All of us have more than 10 years experience, some of them very, very strong experience from all the IIMs and other institutes. ARKS, ARKS is myself. I am the CEO of VistaMind. Those of you know already. Rahul is the other panelist, that he is my classmate from IIM Calcutta. Bala is an IIM Ahmedabad graduate of 1998. Ajay is an Excel graduate. Nishant is IIM Kozhikode. Geeta and Nirmala have been teaching English with us for a long time. Raghunath sir is one of the icons of mathematics and DI teaching in this country itself. Suchitra ma'am from, Suchitra ma'am definitely is there. Sambit, I've just not put all the names. Samrat and Ankuran and A. Srinivas will also be there along with Madhuri, who each one of these guys have been training over the last so many years, both online as well as offline. Why VistaMind? Very, very quickly, we are trying, for especially online classes and offline, we ensure that all the questions which are there are taken also from the real mock CATs, so that you have a flavor of what really comes in the exam. All the topics areas which are defined very clearly, and that's where the handouts are prepared. Smart CATs are prepared by us. The more importantly is some of these smart CAT discussions are going to give you a way of solving things. How to solve this? It's not just, see, not everybody. There are two things we'll do. For smart CATs, general approach and an individual approach, how you should do, as Rahul sir has said a little while back, that somebody is doing over 3 to 4 mocks in one method. I think getting involved with that person and figuring out what he or she should do is what will be the help from, obviously, VistaMind. And of course, we have tons of online tests and clear mentorship from us. Okay, Dinesh is giving me a very thumbs up. I want to say this part at this time. I joined VistaMind last year. All of these sirs were accessible at any time whenever you are low in morale. Thank you very much, Dinesh. That's a big thumbs up for us. Thank you so much. And this is what we have programs, friends. Thanks, Abhijit. Once again, you have been an amazing guy. VistaMind programs, we have full-time programs in all our centers. We have 11 centers. Repeaters programs, those people who have returned CAT already, we have something very specific for them, which will be lesser number of classes, but rigorous enough to ensure that you are there. But these repeaters programs are basically in Bangalore, Chennai and Calcutta. But what we also specialize in is the online classes. The way we are doing the classes, we also will take the classes. You can sit at home in the nights at 9:30 onwards, and you will be able to listen to the top faculty training you. We have both an online full-time program and a online repeaters program. There are other programs like only Smart CAT programs and the workshops and Smart CAT programs also. Absolutely, Karthik. This is the contacts. In fact, I've given 3 contacts here. ARKS is my name. ARKS@vistamind.com is my user ID, and Rahul Reddy is rahul@vistamind.com. Whereas A. Srinivas is also a colleague of mine, an executive assistant, also an alumnus of IIM Indore. He is the online CAT training coordinator for the entire country. His number I have given first so that you can, call up. Sai, if you can just take the number. Sai, my name is ARKS. You can check it out, or Rahul's name. This will be available to you very, very clearly. This recording also, Mohit, we will be putting it up on our website, replacing the approach to a interview which we have used it for the GDPI very soon in a day or two. Okay, so any questions that you have? Yes, we will give all India percentiles after writing mock CATs after your smart CAT sockets. Yes, absolutely. Repeaters program is also available online as well as full-time program. Those people who have returned CAT and have prepared, see, I'm not saying return CAT, but people who have prepared for CAT, I would only ask them to join, and if they've done a decent job, then they should join the repeaters program, or directors program as we call it. But if you have not prepared for it, even if you have returned CAT but not really prepared for it, I would suggest join the full-time program. It's not going to cost you too much differently. Let me assure you, if an offline program in a classroom, it costs you 30,000, our online program, which is exactly the same with probably a lot more interaction, is going to be only at 14,950 rupees, less than half of the offline program, with all the benefits of the offline program, and probably the best faculty across the country. Whether you are in Timbuktu, you are in Agartala, you are in Chennai, you are in Jammu, you are in Trivandrum, doesn't matter, you can come to us. Mumbai, Vineet, we do not have an offline program, classroom program. So Mayank, all the classes that we take will be recorded and will be available for you to watch on your student homepage. So there is double chance. So you attend. There are 2-3 things which will happen as far as classes are concerned. A, in a classroom program, if you miss out something, you will have to attend some other class. Very difficult for you to attend some other class that easily. So what we do is 2 things. There are classes going on almost all the days. So you can A, attend any other online class of the same topic. In addition, the topic, the class which has been taken will also be video recorded and available for your student homepage. In other words, even if you have heard the class completely for 2 hours, and let's say you have understood everything then, but somewhere you want to go back and check certain areas, or go back to that concept or a topic which you need to be repeated, you can go back to your student homepage, look at that part of that area where we have discussed that area, and redo that class once again. That's something which is which is not possible on an offline class that easily. Arjun, if you have prepared only for a month, it would always be a fresh one, which will help you, won't make much of a difference kind of things. Raw score is the multiple of the score that you get among the corrects, and after removing after getting, multiplying your +3 marks for every correct answer and -1 for every wrong answer. Mayank, it will be downloadable. I'll have to check with it here. I'm not sure whether it's downloadable. I'm not very sure it is downloadable. Fees for online full-time courses 14,950. It will be hardly scaled there. The fees for online full-time course of full course, that is, sorry, is rupees 14,950. You can pay it online itself. We do not have offline classes in Hyderabad, Naresh. We have only online classes. And for offline, it will be, for offline, same program, it will be about 30,000, 29 to 30,000, 30K in that sense. Yes, it will be available, Naveen. Online class videos will also be available for people to look for it again. Mock tests, I think, will be in the 2,950 range, yeah, 2,950 or whatever range. I don't think so. I think that's what the normal thing is. See, repeaters will also be in the same thing, like 12,000 rupees, 11,950 range, Mayank, and mocks will be in the 2,950 or 3,950 range. Classroom program, Anjali, if you enroll for, you can also attend, but it's not that you will continuously attend the online programs. If there are certain areas you want to attend, you can definitely get in touch with that and you can attend that. Any offline program student can attend online program, but an online student cannot attend an offline. That's, I think, fair. Naveen, you can see it from anywhere in the world. Anywhere in the world, by the way. Yes, of course, Arvind, you can get in touch with us. Absolutely no problems. Yes, definitely. See, we are here not just to be only making a business out of it. We love teaching. We've been there for so many years. We will definitely be able to help you. Get in touch with us through our mails. Anurag, we will see. In fact, the CEO and the CMO are there in front of you. I am giving you my obvious confidence that, look, we will be available to you anytime. Of course, mutually time we need to figure out, because there will be students across, but we'll make sure that any one of you require any kind of a one-on-one mentorship, we will be there without any doubt about it. We will try to see, we don't have all the solutions for all the practice exercises in all the handouts, but having said that, we will definitely be putting up the most important, the difficult ones, we will put it up exercise. The reason is very simple, friends. If you do practice exercises, if you have solutions, what unfortunately happens is that you look for the solutions. What we would rather like you to do is solve it, don't get it, ask us. And in doubt clearing sessions, which will be also online and offline, depending on where you are, we will be able to solve you better. Frankly, Vineet, you don't have to do a GMAT simultaneously. Of course, if you're writing GMAT somewhere in June, July, yes, it might make sense. But otherwise, if you prepare for CAT, areas like critical reasoning, which is the extra thing, and a part of sentence correction, which is extremely important for GMAT, you can do it separately, not the entire GMAT preparation.
Hello.
I think somebody is once again. Rahul, you can also keep adding. Dibyajit, I think, is asked. Okay. Any other questions, friends? I think Sanam, Rahul sir, myself, we keep traveling, but I don't take too many classes, but all the seminars which are there, which are available, or workshops, definitely we do. Yes, of course, Tanushree, that will be all given in PDF format. Sorry, if I enroll for the online program, would it be possible for me to get the hard copies of the handouts? I spend 10 hours a day in front of the computer. Yes, you can. We can give you. Where are you from, Tanushree? Kolkata. Yeah, you can easily get it. Yeah, no, don't worry. You can go to the office and get it. Not an issue. For the handouts, the books will be charged, but not the handouts. See, you are in 4th semester, Anjali. That means you will be writing CAT 2016. I would suggest you join for the CAT 2016 batch. That will be slow. It will not be the same rigor at which we do it. You can join whenever you are comfortable. Absolutely no problem. We will also start a CAT 2016 batch somewhere around June, July for a long-term program. Smart CATs, Saket, are going to start in April itself, 3rd week. The first mock CAT, the second one will be in May, and from June onwards, continuously. Sambit, we are going to change a lot of online tests in the next 1 month. A lot of tests, Sambit, definitely. Yes, Anurag, that's the basic plan also. Yes, Mahalakshmi, that's exactly what I'm trying to tell you. Yes, we will be in person. In person meaning not necessarily face to face, but definitely face to face on a computer whenever it's possible. Or I have faculty members across the country. Depending on where you are, we will have also face-to-face answers. Not really, Sanam. It doesn't help doing a post-graduation. Yes, Sambit, we will be putting in more. See, again, when you're saying more questions and practice materials, I think the basic logic of tests is not just practice tests, but also it will be converted into a huge amount of material for you to solve. Frankly, Naveen, no. You don't need, except that you need to read the newspapers every day. What I'll do, Aravind, in fact, which is what I'm planning to do, though all of you have anyway prepared for, while I have given you in the last 1 hour, both between Rahul sir and myself, we will now give you a step-by-step plan, which will also put up as a, an article on our website, which I would like you to, spend time on. Just go through so that you know exactly what you should do. Maninder, I think 10 to 15 hours per week. And for all of you, we will send you the mail. Absolutely, that's what I think Rahul sir is saying. Smart CAT schedule will be sent to you. Hard copy of the material of the handouts, yes, but probably not about the books, Mahalakshmi. And for the books, you might just have to pay a little extra. Exact amount, I do not remember, but I'll be able to tell you that.
Nilu. చాలా బాగుంది.
You want me to make you the presenter, Rahul?
Yeah.
I can't see you. Where are you? But
Wait.
And then I got it. Sure. I'm making a presenter. Any other questions, guys? Otherwise, thank you very much for your time. Let Rahul sir sum it up, and we'll close it today.
I think a broad number of points got covered. I think somebody was asking the question of can I give smart cats on weekends? See, the way smart cats are designed, we know people have different schedules, so it's very difficult to find a particular time where everybody will give. So smart cats are normally done so that you can select the time and day in which you will use, and every smart cat window, we call it, will include a weekend. Okay, so definitely if you have you will get time on weekends for every smart cat. That is sorted out. I think one important thing I wanted to answer, I wanted to actually say is, what difference does it make if faculty have experienced, 8 years experience, 10 years, what difference does it make to you as a student? Because somehow the first impression people get is, CAT coaching is all about the classroom, solving questions and so on. Let me tell you, that is the easier part. Somebody with lesser experience can probably do that. Where the less experienced faculty will really fail is they will not be able to understand why you are not improving. If you go to a faculty and say, these are my scores for the last sectional test, this is what is happening to me, I am able to do this part but I am not able to do this part, that is where the experience gets lacking. Okay, so it is the mentorship that makes a difference, because the sheer number of students that we have guided successfully gives us enormous insight. We are able to see patterns in behavior. We know, look, okay, this is the kind of mistake that students make. Okay, this is possible reason for why the score is not improving in this particular section. That is a phenomenal insight, and that makes a huge difference. So let us say, somebody like Vimal Kumar is coaching Saina Nehwal now. He's not going to start from the basics. Obviously, she knows all that. All he's going to say is, look, I think that's a small weakness in your game where you're losing points, or small mistake you're making here. Maybe you should stand 6 inches behind. That's all. Somebody like a coach to Virat Kohli will say, look here, a particular type of ball, your bat is getting angled. That small correction will make a big difference. So that is the huge essence of experienced faculty, because they can find out what motivates people, what are the areas where you're going wrong, and make the corrective action. Right. So if there are no more questions, see, normally when we do an online program, we offer soft copy, because people are quite, if the entire exam is online, preparation is online, they are comfortable with soft copy. But printed copies of material is available at an extra cost.
Hello. Hello.
Ananta, if you have any questions, can you please ask through a chat, please? Thank you.
Yeah, sure, sir. I'll ask it. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
As of now, online classes are being done at the evening slots, 9:30 p.m. slots, because that's the time where, whether it is students or working people, everybody seems to be comfortable. But we are actually open for other slots also. We are considering other slots also. See, Naveen, I think the issue is not, let's not worry too much about what will happen from July to October. I'm saying start now, start small, but do it every day, 2 hours every day in a structured manner. Very soon you will see phenomenal improvement. And once you are comfortable doing 2 hours a day, making it 3 is not going to be a problem. The big problem is discipline. Okay, if you are studying for 2 hours, increasing it to 3 is never a problem. The problem of doing study every day is a problem. People do 3 hours today, then do nothing tomorrow, then again study day after, then miss for 3 days, like that. See, online class interactivity happens just like we are doing today, through chat sessions.
You can also speak if required be, but we try normally, because otherwise there will be a chaos.
If people speaking makes an issue, but if you're unable to explain your issue with chat, we can give you rights to speak, and then you can go through. Anjali, CS is a very, what do you call it? It's a very stable, low growth kind of an option. Okay. The advantage of company secretary is government mandates that every company should have a company secretary. Okay. But the role doesn't change. So after 5 years experience, 10 years experience, you're broadly doing the same thing. So normally pay structure also is very flat. So it's a very low growth sector. So not something that I would really recommend. But if you are able to do CS along with an MBA, it can help. It could be a proper add-on. Yes, Arjun. I don't want people to depend on recorded because as our students can tell you, live classes gives you more than recorded videos. You know, it's more because of the interactivity, because you can immediately ask questions. Live is preferable. But if you miss, definitely you have recorded. Even if you don't miss, please use recorded for revision.
One area, Dibyajit, this is a good question he's asked. How is a advantage for an online program? Apart from the obvious advantage of A, fees, and B, convenience, where you can sit at home and do it at the convenient time, which is normally in the late evenings. We are also trying to do it on Saturday, Sundays, in the afternoons, mornings, evenings kind of things. The real advantage of online program as against a classroom program is two things. First, the teachers are going to teach you at the top level. Second, more importantly, in fact, in this itself, there is a area called polling. There is a technology called polling. There is a technology. We kind of track. We can track every student how he or she is preparing and figure out what are his or her weaknesses on a regular basis and probably help them to improve. While we have not completely used the technology, one of the ideas for us is to ensure that every student, when he or she comes to a class, even a normal class, will be tracked in whether he or she is understanding the topic at large and the questions that have been solved as exercises, and then give him or her a remedial class. This is almost impossible in a classroom program. That in the classroom program, the guy has to come back, the student has to take the initiative to figure out whether you're doing it well or not. Here, we will be able to do it a little bit of push kind of a learning. Having said that, remember, if you have that interest, if you are self-motivated to crack it to the best IIMs, it's always going to be easy for you to take the best help of online simply because you have the best people helping you out. It's there on our website also, Sai Sandeep. Yes, absolutely, Ananta. What are your 10th and 12th scores?
See, Ananta, if I can explain this, in IIM Bangalore gives high weightage for academics, but IIM-A and C, the weightage is not very high. But whatever weightage given to academics is also for 10th, 12th and graduation put together. So if two are good and one is average, I don't think it's a major issue.
Right. Okay, gentlemen, and all wonderful friends, girls and boys, wish you all the very best. Gayatri, there are sample classes available before joining. In fact, you can attend a couple of classes, Gayatri, before you join. Don't have to join without really figuring out whether it is useful or helpful for you.
So my request is all of you, whoever is interested in various programs, if you can drop in a mail to Srinivas
at VistaMind.com.
At VistaMind.com. Just tell me, look, I want to know more about this particular program, and we will ensure that we get back to you. So whether you're looking for an online program, offline, repeaters, or a smart CAT, just write into A. Srinivas and say, look, this is what I'm saying, this is what I'd like to know more for. And Srinivas, if you send a mail to that, we will also arrange demo classes for you. Sorry, Karthik, correction of sentences did come. About 3 questions came.
In fact, Dibyajit, we will take care of that. We'll ensure that we will send you online invites for classes that we're going to take online. so that you can attend a couple of classes. You don't have to attend one class and take a decision. You can attend 2 or 3 classes even, because we know that this is a very, very good medium wherein you will really help yourself.
Yes.
Okay?
Afrin, see, if you are a classroom student and also want to attend online, just you send in a request and we'll ensure that.
You don't have to pay any fees.
Obviously, we won't charge double because you are already a student.
Yeah, I agreed, Debijit. Anjali, will you be teaching us in classroom program in Chennai? Unfortunately, I am not in Chennai, Anjali, but whenever I come in, we do programs and workshops. That is where you will find us. But that will be once in a month or once in 2 months.
Debijit, that's exactly why you can do a couple of classes, get a hang of it, see how it's working out, and then take a decision. See, that is the advantage. I am right now in Calcutta, ARKS sir is in Bangalore, Raghunath is in Chennai, Nishant sir is in Chennai. So, how else will you get all these people teaching you? Okay, so the main thing an online does is it removes the disadvantage of location so that you can get teachers from across the country.
Naresh, it's basically the difference between executive MBA versus a normal MBA is a 1-year program versus 2-year program. Generally, an executive MBA program is useful for a person with about 3 to 5 years or even more experience rather than anything else. Okay?
Anurag, I teach at Calcutta, all the centers.
Arjun, it will be about 3 to 5 depending on the schedules. It will be starting with 3, going up to 5 and coming back to 3 kind of things.
Sanam, see, any faculty that we have at Calcutta, they are not restricted to any one center.
We don't believe in single centers.
So depending on whatever schedule is that we have made, I could take Monday's class in Jodhpur, Tuesday in Park Street, and Thursday in Solid Lake. So like that. Yeah. So Ananta was also asking the same question. Work experience is, maximum 10% weightage. Okay, it is different for each IIM, but maximum weightage is only about 10%.
Anjali Batija is asking, is there a top B school in Chennai? IIT Madras? Probably.
Great Lakes, Chennai.
Great Lakes. 1-year program, that is, in general.
Little lower than that, Layla is also pretty good.
Normally, Anurag, the classes are in the evening at 6:30 to 8:30 or 6 to 8 o'clock, or on Saturdays, Sundays. Saturdays evenings and Sunday mornings.
Naresh, ISB Hyderabad, after that there is no good colleges in Hyderabad.
Naresh, there is only Indian School of Business. Definitely, Naveen, it will help. It will help you to improve your reading speech. It will also, Jeffrey Archer, Agatha Christie's of the world use very good language. So vocabulary will improve, language will improve, grammar will improve. There is no doubt about it. Anurag, the same question I answered to somebody else. Approximately 10 to 15 hours a week starting today will be significantly more than sufficient to.
Quick answer for some of them. Yes, Sai Sandeep, IITs are very good programs. IIT Mumbai, Delhi and Kharagpur are very good. Rest are also pretty decent. Soumya, IBS Hyderabad generally is a college that I normally don't recommend because the batch size is too high and the teaching is average. Great Lakes Chennai is a pretty good college.
Yes, Sanam. The answer is yes for your question. The Srija, the classes have already started. Every week there is a batch starting off. Every 2 weeks there is a batch starting off. What I will do is, for all of you who have registered right now, there will be a separate mail coming from Srinivas saying that these are the dates, and then you can attend a couple of classes before you take a decision whether you want to join us or not. Okay?
Anurag, classroom program weekly hours about 8 hours a week. Can go up or down a little bit depending on the schedule, but average will be 8 hours. We need extracurriculars. There's nothing important, but just to show that you are a personality, that it's not only your marks, but you have other important qualities.
That you are not one-dimensional.
So sports will help, arranging events and organizational position. Being in a position of responsibility in college, that definitely helps. I think it's okay. Newspaper, read the center portion, the editorial, that's a good part. Yes, online reading is also fine. Will IIM Visakhapatnam start this year? Naresh, I will speak to Smriti Irani and get back to you.
Very difficult.
It was expected to start, but some reason we have not.
Srinivas at VistaMind.com. Ayushi, send it to a.srinivas at VistaMind.com, which is on the left side. Okay. So Vineet, what should we analyze from editorial is not for analysis, it's for learning, remembering words, understanding the issue at hand, so that your knowledge and your thinking grows. So I answered this question, is it worth joining new IIMs? Depending on what else you have, frankly. Rajiv, we will send you a mail for this registering for demo class, or if you go to VistaMind.com, there you can click on CAT 2015 online classes, and from there you can register too. Abhishek is asking us to join only a verbal section. We will try that, Abhishek. That's not a bad idea at all. Okay. XLRI, FMS, NM. I think these are the two ones. SPJ and MDI in one and various. One is in Calcutta, one is in Delhi. Adarshi.
See, IFT Delhi is better, but IFT Kolkata is also now reasonably good. So it's worth joining. And for many companies, recruit from both the places. The placement is joint. So with the exception of few companies, most companies that come to IFT Delhi also come to IFT Kolkata.
So friends, we will stop it right now, and thank you so much for attending the class, the session that we had right now. Any questions? The email IDs are on the left side. Send it to a.srinivas or Rahul or arks@vistamind.com, or message us, WhatsApp us if required be. We will get back to you for sure. Okay, and wish you all the very best for your CAT, and hope that we will be of also help to you in your preparation for CAT. Thank you so much. Thanks, Rahul.
See, placement I was talking about, same companies come mostly, so even average salary is also close. Not exactly same, but close.
Right, sir. Let's stop.
Okay, thank you. Best of luck.